Well, I believe Minico is away, but anyways, welcome everyone to Tier 2.
No, I'm not.
You were gone, it was quiet. You don't listen.
No, I was setting everything up.
Can I add some entertainment
you're
to the early stream?
You're rushing me.
Can I add some early entertainment to the stream, okay? Leave me alone.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I was gonna say something else, but alright. I was just gonna say that it's definitely been a while since Tier 2 has last race, not only in Bahrain, but just rather in general. But the wait is no more, and Tier 2 is back once again. Hello, and welcome, everybody. Now, we are here at the Bahrain International Circuit. 15 corners make up this track, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. 3 DRS zones, 1 going into turn 1, 1 going into turn 4, and the other one making its way to turn 11. And we've had plenty of action already. Let's see what Tier 2 can provide us, considering that Tier 2 is always full of action, no matter what. My name is Minico. Yes, you're hearing my voice again. I didn't say I was going to be here, but I am. We move. And alongside me is Redeemer. And, well, like I said before, there's been a lot of action here in Bahrain. Do we expect another thriller here tonight?
I mean, yeah, I'm always excited to see what happens with Tier 2. You know, we get a lot of familiar faces and a lot of newcomers. I believe one of the newcomers is LRT Wingo 45, he's a newcomer, and another base that we love to see is BRL Skeppy back racing in F1 again, so glad to see him back on circuit.
Yeah, we've got plenty of familiar faces on this grid, including Skeppy, who is back, one of our league owners, and well, it's good to see him back on the grid as he's currently starting a lap, and there's a lot of familiar faces here, and some that have been promoted from Tier 3 up to Tier 2, that being Potato and the Alpine. He's familiar with that car. Ron Swanson, he is in the McLaren, and he's been promoted. Bad Bunny, I believe, was in Tier 3 last season, and now he is in the AlphaTauri, and as well as Groggy in the other Alpine. And a couple other names I can't quite name off the top of my head, but there is still quite an interesting grid. Yeah, that's right. Sky is also there as well. Sorry that I missed you, Sky. My bad.
Solar V was also another one. He was also in Tier 3.
I'm going with familiar names right now, okay. That's just what I'm seeing off the top of my head. Anyways, but yeah, nonetheless, though, we can still have a very competitive race and a very competitive grid nonetheless, as Potato's the first one to set laps in 130.1, and then Zach very quickly beats it in the Mercedes with a 129.2. Ron Swanson lines up P2 now with a 129.5, so we're already into the low 29s, and we have not even gone through 5 minutes of qualifying.
Ooh,
oh,
Wingo.
There's a bit of what is going on with Wingo, if I can find his name.
There
we go.
T11, I think it is? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks to be turn 11. He's managed to keep it going, though, and I don't think there's any front wing damage on at that Williams. No, there's not. Oh, there is. Who's that? Is that a Maverick?
No,
it's Bad Bunny. So already a couple of incidents here in qualifying, but luckily nobody has crashed. So that is good to see. I have to quickly leave now, so why don't you go ahead and take over for a little bit.
Alright. Well, while we go through the teams, we have Mercedes of Zach the Beast 42 taking one of the Mercedes, his teammate being NGT Blacks alongside him for the season. Red Bull, we have Solar V, which we did mention, 45, followed by CSR Bullet, and the other Red Bull. Ferrari, we have Veyron, who is just about ready to finish his lap. He's going to come across the line and see what he posts. P2 with a 29.1. Nice lap from him. His teammate in the other Ferrari, Vogue, 26. Going to McLaren, we have No Limit Equal, again, racing in that McLaren for the third season in a row, I believe. His teammate of Ron Swanson, which Minico already had mentioned. AlphaTauri, Maverick 31 taking one of the seats, and Bad Bunny taking the other one. Let's see what they can do. Aston Martin, we have Mexena, who's coming across the line. He's going to post a 29.3 to put him up to P4. His teammate of the season, BRL Ardell. Trying to think of what teams we have not gone through. Cold Carnival in the Alfa Romeo, his teammate BRL Skeppy, which we have mentioned. Who is that jumped up? I believe that was No Limit jumping to 5th. Yes, it was. Alpine, Groggy Oregano 16, and Potato, who we have mentioned as well. Williams, we have, I'm going to botch this, and I'm sorry if I do, is Charlos, I believe, and then Wingo in the other one. And in Haas, I believe is the final team, we have IUF1 Sky and his teammate, Johan Laura, who is not here at the moment with a recovery from an injury that he had, so hoping he has a speedy recovery. A lot of quick times being posted. I just realized the 28.8 for P1 at the moment, posted by Bullet. Let's see if that's going to be hard to beat, I believe. Buddy will on his part to do so. 4 drivers have not set up time yet. Oh, he's actually going into the pits. And welcome back.
I was having a bit of issues with my mic there for a second. I don't know what was going on. I just got somebody just ear blasted, to put it simply. But yep, I am back, and I'm assuming you were going through the teams as I was away. So I did hear the tail end of it.
Yeah, I think I did every team, I believe.
Well, I wouldn't know. I heard AlphaTauri down. So that's as far as I know. But
oh, yeah,
going back over to qualifying, as you said,
4 teams, and then I did AlphaTauri and etc. So.
Yeah, fair enough. But going back over to qualifying, yeah, like you said, CSR Bullet with the fastest lap time so far with a 128.8, already 3.5 tenths clear. The next driver of Veyron, last season's Tier 2 champion. He is now in the Ferrari. Obviously, he was given first pick, and he's decided to go with the Ferrari, and, well, I can't say I blame him. I like the Ferrari, too. But we move. He's currently lined up in second place, and his teammate, Vo, in fourth. So Ferrari are looking pretty competitive from the outset, but we're only halfway through qualifying, so we'll see if that changes anytime soon. I believe the next person to come across the line that is going to set a lap time is going to be Bad Bunny, and he's currently going through the second sector.
Yeah, coming into the tricky downhill left-handers of turns 9 and 10, very easy to lock up if you're running no ABS, which he does not do, so gets out of the corner cleanly without losing the rear end of the car. Now coming to the critical speed, 11, 12, and 13. Handles steel 11, very fine, keeps it in 5th, but still he handles to turn 12. Keeps away from the curb, he's just going to get on the curb, he's just going to invalidate that a little bit, and he's going to spin. I don't know if that's commentator scripts or not.
Yeah, just having a little bit of an unfortunate moment at turn 13, but he's managed to keep it going and luckily did not go veering straight into the wall, but that has absolutely ruined his lap, so he's going to have to come back into the pits to go once again. So far, we've had 15 drivers that have currently set a lap time, with the highest being CSR Bullet with a 128.8, and Groggy all the way down in P15 with a 131.1, and he's no doubt going to want to try and improve that. I believe the next person to come across the line is going to be the Mercedes of NGT Blacks, who is going through Sector 2 split, Purple Sector 2. So he's looking to be on a pretty good lap. We'll see if he can just nail the third sector and put him in a very, very competitive position. And he's going through the final 2 corners. Cam saying up the TTMN. I have to agree. I definitely not biased. Definitely not. Anyways, he comes across the line. Ooh. P12, so maybe it wasn't a Purple Sector 2 after all. The game, once again, lying to me. Again, that's nothing new, is it?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's just kind of a norm nowadays, and I'm just going to have to get used to it. Ardell's now going to come across the line, and where does he put the Aston Martin? Whoa, a big jump for him. He goes up to P3 with a 129.2, but he's still more than 4 tenths off. Nope. No, never mind. Under 3 tenths off of BRL. Not BRL. Oi! I'm screwing up my words right now. Bullet, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you. As Bullet is actually coming through the final 2. Oh, and he's round. Oh, yeah, Skeppy with a very good lap time. Skeppy puts himself on the front row in the Alfa Romeo. And, well, There's been a lot of talk from a lot of people as of recently saying, Skeppy for Tier 1. And Skeppy was saying, no, I'm definitely Tier 3. Well, right now, he's definitely Tier 2. I don't know where he's going to be, but one thing's for sure is that he's looking pretty competitive from the offset. And landing up at the front row, that's an AlphaTauri spun round at turn 4. That might have been Bad Bunny. Yes, it was, as he's on an out lap. So not what he wanted there. But luckily has managed to keep it going. Next person to come across the line is going to be Maverick in the other AlphaTauri, who's just under 3/10 up on his lap time, coming through the final 2 corners. That very, very lovely looking AlphaTauri, probably one of the most unique liveries on the grid, in my opinion. Comes across the line. Oh, just misses out on pole, but he goes to the front row with the 128.9, the second driver to go into the 28s.
Yeah, Solar V just come across the line. He's going to go P11. I believe that's an Alpine of Groggy, who improves on his lap time, but not his position. So he's going to want to improve on that. I believe Drix is on another push lap.
Let's see if he is. Veyron now goes on to provisional pole with the 128.5. So that team has been beaten. That time has been beaten. And now Veyron on pole position. Last season's Tier 2 champion is back on top once again. We'll see if he can hold it for now, but CSR Bullet is on an outlap right now, and there's still many, many other drivers that can improve, such as Vo. Well, he goes up to P4. So Ferrari first and fourth right now. They're looking pretty good from the offset. Let's see if they can continue that run of form throughout the week. Well, yeah, I guess throughout the day, throughout the weekend, whatever you want to call it. We'll just have to find out. Next person to come across the line, well, I thought it was going to be Max Senna, but he is actually way down on his lap time. So scratch that. And I'm not really seeing who else is on a lap time. Actually, well, there's one person, and it's Cold Carnival and the other Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I was just going through. Maverick is actually out of fuel. He's going to come into the pits.
Carnival going a little bit wide there at turn 13. Has managed to keep it valid, though. He's a little bit down on his lap time. Be able to come through the final 2 corners. Goes a little bit deep there. Is that ruined his chances? Yes, it has. He's diving right into the pits. Here comes Blacks, though. Never mind, he is quite a ways down on his lap time. What of Groggy? He's invalidated. So, not really many people improving on their lap times. But what about Solar? Nope, he's way down on his lap time as well. I think everybody's just going to try and set up for their final run. I mean, you can just see the amount of people in the pits right now, pretty much proving my point there. So we'll see who is actually on a lap time. No Limit's on a lap time right now. He's currently making his way over to turn 11. He's a 10th and a half up on his lap time. We'll see if he can find a lot of improvement through Sector 2 as he comes through the Sector 2 split now. 4/10 up. So he's on a good lap time. He's on a run for 28 right now. Is it going to be enough, though, to dislodge Veyron from pole?
Yeah, on board with, I believe it's Charlos. You're going to have to correct me. He goes up to P3. What a lap from him.
Wow. Great lap time. Oh, that's a Mercedes.
I think he was just getting out of the way. No, oh, he's just going to miss the 28.
Loses a little bit of time in the final sector, but it's still good enough for P5. So a good limit. Wow. Good lap time from No Limit in McLaren. English is clearly not my #1 language right now, even though that is my native language. Like that, yeah, makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Not really, no.
We move. I don't understand it either. Let's go on board with Zach here, as he's making his way through Sector 1, and he's already 3/10 down as the Mercedes, so he's had already a bit of a poor start to his lap. Can he find any more time? That's a bit of a downer now already for the Mercedes, as well. Well, he won't be able to improve on his lap time, and he's starting 10th. By the way, can I just quickly mention, from first all the way down to 14th, everyone separated by less than a second. That is quite competitive indeed. Obviously, Veyron a little bit clear ahead of the rest of the pack, but still,
Zach managed to somehow find some. Oh!
Oh!
Wow!
I don't know how he's got that valid, but yeah, a lot of time found in Sector 2, as you were just about to say. He's coming across a yellow flag, though. I believe that is just a Williams out of fuel. But Zach now through the final corner. Is it going to be enough? No, he dives right into the pits. That might be his qualifying done and dusted. The Mercedes is going to line up 10th unless someone jumps him, in which good chance that might happen.
Yeah, Bad Bunny really needs to get a lap in here. Obviously P19 right now with no lap time set.
Can I just say, by the way, no one has crashed or retired in qualifying so far, and look at the amount of people on an out lap right now. Yeah. That is just absolutely insane.
It, though, to be honest with you. Oh, Maverick.
Nope, still good.
That's still 360. Glad I caught that.
Yeah, he's managed to keep it going, but that is his qualifying done. He's retired in the pits, I believe,
no,
so that is the best he's going to get. No, it's not.
Oh, no, there's a yellow flag. Sorry.
That's the Aston Martin of Ardell, I believe. Meanwhile, the other Aston Martin of Mexena has gone through the Sector 2 split. He is a 10th, just over a 10th up. Purple Sector 2, we'll see if that's legit or not, but he is currently set to line up at least P7, maybe even P6 right now. Let's see if he can find any more improvement through the third sector as he comes across the line. Goes onto the right-hand side, really. Well, he goes up to P5. So, decent lap time from the Aston Martin, and he beats his teammate in qualifying, though Ardell is currently on a lap, and, well, a bunch of people now on a lap. We'll see who's next across the line. I believe it's actually going to be... Nope, it's not going to be Veyron. It looks like to be one of the AlphaTauris. I think that may be Bad Bunny. Nope. Who okay. Maybe it's a Red Bull, then.
I think it's going to be Bullet, the first across the line.
Yeah, it is, and he's a 10th and a half up right now going through Sector 2. Is it going to be enough, though, to dislodge Veyron? DRS wide open, comes across the line. No, he lost time. Bullet lost time, so he is not going to be able to improve. Meanwhile, Vo has set a purple Sector 2. He's a 10th up, just about. But is he going to be able to dislodge his teammate? Currently lined up 7th is the Ferrari. Opens the DRS. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Only P5, but still pretty good there. What about Potato? He comes across the line and goes up to P8. Next person is going to be, I think that might have been No Limit.
No, that was
no. Oh, it was Wingo. Wow. Wingo with a great lap there. Solar goes up to P4, so he pretty much matches his teammate, but it's not going to be enough. What about Maverick? Well, actually, no, that was not Maverick, my bad. That was Bad Bunny. He goes up to P18, so not the lap time he would have wanted. What about Ardell? He's currently P12. He goes up to P3. So a very good lap time there. What of Groggy? Only P18 for the Alpine. Next up is going to be Ron Swanson in the McLaren going through the final corner. He's 3/10 up. Is it going to be enough to improve him any higher? Only P12. Next person's going to be Veyron. He's already on pole position. He doesn't better his lap time, but he is still on pole position. Skeppy comes across the line, and it is not enough. And I believe Maverick is down on his lap time. Yes, he is. So that is qualifying done and dusted. Veyron, the last season's Tier 2 champion, is on pole. Wingo on the front row. And Mitchie's already saying Ardell P3. Oh no. Oh well then. That is still decent qualifying there from the Aston Martin as well. Like I said, lines up P3. Both Red Bulls line up 4th and 5th. CSR Bullet ahead of Solar, separated by just over 0.03 of a second. Then it's Carlos in P6 in the Williams. Then it's Maverick in P7. Vo in P8. Mexena in P9. Then it's Nolan in P10. The top 10 separated by just 0.430. That is a very, very close grid indeed, but nobody can get within 0.2 of Aaron.
The fact, I want to point this out. The top from P1 to P17 is all within a second of each other.
Quite crazy indeed.
I don't know where to go with that. Like, I really don't. I know this is a new season for BRL and it's a new game. But P1 to P17 all within a second. What's in store for the race?
Who knows? Who simply knows? It is quite a competitive grid here for Tier 2 tonight. And, well, it's pretty much everyone against Veyron. Veyron on pole position from Wingo, separated by just over 2/10. But from Wingo down is all separated by 1.4. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
They're all pretty much within DRS of each other. Like, very closely.
Imagine IRL P1...
That would be one heck of a DRS train, I'm just saying.
P1 to P17 in a DRS train. Where do you go? Who do you ride on board with?
You just don't.
Exactly.
You need to get a good helicopter shot where you just shoot the middle of the DRS train where it catches absolutely everyone. And there we go.
So
That's the entire grid. There you go.
Imagine Mexico. They're sitting
Oh,
in the helicopter at the end of P1, and they're all in a DRS train. You just see all the cars, rear wings open, traveling at like 330 kilometers an hour down the straight to the first braking zone.
or maybe not even Mexico, Monza or Baku.
Oh,
God.
Oh, Lord.
That would be insane.
What about China? China's a good one too.
Well, it's not on this game.
Well,
It could be though. You never know.
I really wish they'd bring Malaysia back. I mean...
Oh, I think a lot of people would agree.
I mean, I'm not, the 3 tracks I'd like to see back in F1 for them to be racing at. Malaysia, Turkey, and Nürburgring.
Yes. That's all I got. Just yes, I completely agree with that. But we're now on to the formation lap here in Bahrain. Let's not focus on other tracks. Let's focus here. And we've got quite an interesting lineup in terms of tires, as we've already got an Aston Martin off the track. That's Ardell. Ardell is way off the track at turn 3. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. Maybe the cold tires probably played a factor in that. But going over to what everyone selected for tires, and well, we've got a bunch of medium and hard compounded tires that pretty much almost split between everybody. But there's only one man that is currently... Oh, Veyron. Veyron's way off the track. Where's he going? He's back on the track now. But only one man out of every one of the 19 is on the soft compounded tire, that being of Groggy. So he is planning to go aggressive, but if there's one thing I know out of all the races that I've seen is that the softs deteriorate very, very quickly around here. Very quickly in general through pretty much majority of this game. So we'll see what Groggy can do from P18 on the grid on the soft compounded tire. But it's going to be a bit of a challenge to hold off everyone once those softs start going off. That's Cold Carnival going around at turn 10.
Yeah, I did count it. We do have, I believe it is 9 and 9 medium tires to hards. And then
completely split.
Groggy on the softs. So
that's completely split. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
For those that tune in to the Tier 3 race last night, I myself started on the hards. And that's a Red Bull around.
Oh, we've got a Red Bull. That's Bullet.
No,
that's
Solar. But yeah, I myself started on the hards, and they're a good race tire. But let me tell you, I struggled for about 5 laps just trying to get some good tire temp into them. And then once
that sounds about right.
Once they came into temp and like a good
Veyron.
What? Is he
trying to warm up his tires?
Is he trying to do one of those 360?
No, he's trying to do a burnout. That's what he's trying to do. I could tell. He was trying to do a burnout. It just simply didn't work. But he is going to line up on the grid. Already a couple of people disqualified for lining up. But Veyron pretty much nails it. He's pointing a little bit to the left there. Is the Ferrari possibly trying to cover off Wingo? We've got 4 drivers that have been disqualified from the formation lap. But I won't disqualify them in the race. As I wish I could get a good angle, but it's 5 red lights on for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go. It's a bit of a wheel spin for the Ferrari, and the Williams are getting a decent start. Look at Solar with amazing start off the grid. That's a Haas further back that has completely lost its Solar. Trying to go for the move on Veyron, unable to make, so there's a bit of contact between a couple of drivers, a bit of front wing damage. That's Veyron in the lead from Solar. Then comes Bullet. That is quite a few drivers around this potato round. He's all the way down to P19 now. And so is Skeppy. Skeppy is around as well, and same with Cold Carnival. Both Alfa Romeos having a terrible day. And that is not what they wanted for the start of this race. There's already a bit of a gap breaking out.
Hang on, pause. Groggy's P8.
Oh my gosh, he is! He's had an amazing start! Wow! Groggy, out of absolutely nowhere, he's gone from P18 to P8. So he's made the softs absolutely work and has managed to pick up the pieces from everyone falling back, as well as Zach has also fallen back. He's down to P17, but Veyron still in the lead from Solar. Solar had such a launch off the grid. He went from 5th up to 2nd on the hard compounded tire. That's absolutely insane there.
Oh, there's cars spinning.
That is Wingo. Yeah, that's Bad Bunny, and I think that is Maverick as well. Could they have made contact? I'm not entirely sure. But that's both AlphaTauris and both Alfa Romeos off. And one thing's for sure is that Wingo's completely fallen off. He was on the front row. He's all the way down to P11 as Max Senna and Vo going at it. Max Senna has the inside. He's easily going to get ahead of the Ferrari.
Going into the straight, going into turn 1 to see what Groggy can do. He's actually going to get him.
Clearly, the Alpine has good straight line speed. Vo speed's in the pit lane. He's going to try and change his front wing. He had front wing damage off the start. The Groggy is now up to P7. Wingo's left the session. I hope you can get him in as soon as possible. Maverick stays out. Skeppy, Zach, Sky, and Vo all into the pits. And same with Cold Carnival. It's a double pit stop for the Alfa Romeos. That is a terrible, terrible start for Alfa Romeo and not what he wanted. They're going to want to hope for a safety car eventually.
Yeah, it's really tough. You know, we see this time and time again with these races. You know, people don't get great starts and they get damaged lap 1. And then they just get really, you know, I don't want to say down, but they get upset and they just got to keep their head down and just do laps and just hopefully something comes their way. And that's what Alfa Romeo really needed, especially from Vosges down. You know, they just really need a safety car to come out and then they come back up to the field. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. This Bullet is all over the back of Veyron as Skeppy spun out of turn 3.
He's now having a good time here, is Skeppy, but hopefully he can get his act together and try and, well, first hope for a safety car, but also catch up. But just looking through the field, looking at who's gained the most, obviously Groggy with an excellent start. He's gone from P18 up to P7. Same with NGT Blocks. He's gone up 7 positions in that Mercedes. He's now in P8. Wingo's joined back, so that's good to see. Bullet takes the fastest lap of the race from Veyron, and that's Maverick out of the race. I think that safety car has just come out, and I think that might be a virtual.
That's a VSC.
Yeah, I think that's a virtual. As I'm not seeing a safety car out, and Wingo's already into the pits. And there's the stricken AlphaTauri. It's just looped round at turn 13. And that is not how the AlphaTauri wanted to start this season.
So I think this actually helps Veyron because he was under pressure from Bullet behind. But the one thing I want to know, Bullet being all over the back of Veyron, he can push Veyron to use his mediums more than he has to, and then Solar's on the hards. If Solar can stay with his teammate and utilize his hard tires, I don't know. It's nail biting.
It's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull plays this out, because it's a 2v1 situation. 2 Red Bulls against a Ferrari. That's actually pretty similar to real life if you think about it. Let's say that's Carlos Sainz DNF'd or something. Obviously, Vo hasn't DNF'd. He's all the way down to P14 on the soft compounded tire. Same with Wingo, by the way. He pitted and he's on to the softs. Same with Cold Carnival. As the race has now resumed, I really wish they would provide a warning for that, but they never do. But nonetheless, the race is now resumed. Veyron already pulling a bit of a gap there from Bullet. He's pulled around 4 tenths. The gap between them just under 8. Actually, it is 8 tenths now. So Veyron using that virtual safety car to the best of his ability, but Bullet has that DRS, so he is going to gain on that Ferrari. Ferrari using a bit of battery.
Move on Charlos here going into turn 1. pulls out to the right-hand side. Ardell's going to play that DRS game, as we saw at the beginning of the season. They're going to make a little bit of contact. And I think Charlos is just going to hold it around the inside of turn 2. He is.
Oh, that's the soar! Turn 3, clearly just looped it on the rear, and now he is falling down to P10.
On the inside, he's going to get the move done. Yes, he is. Nicely done by Ardell to take the move on the hards against another set of hards from the Williams.
Charlos had a bit of a moment at the exit of turn 4, and now he's under pressure from No Limit. Is No Limit going to look for a move? He is going to have a look, but Charlos just able to keep it around the outside, stays ahead. And this is still crucial because he's going to want to stay in that DRS. So he has a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a snap, and No Limit is basically pushing him through that corner right now. No Limit, obviously on those medium competitors, has a DRS. He's going to pull to the left-hand side, going wheel to wheel now, down to main straight into turn 11. Is No Limit going to risk it? No, he doesn't. He's going to have to stay behind for the time being. Oh, and that's actually Ardell round. Ardell spun at turn 11, just clearly looped it, and that's going to cost him a lot of positions. He's down to P12. And gets a 3-second time. That's unfair. Nah, I'd have to. I would remove that. Nah, that is just really unfair. He does not. He didn't deserve that.
A little battle for P3 though. We got Charlos, No Limit, Groggy, and Blacks. Blacks is gonna look for a move on Groggy. My English is started to die.
And meanwhile, No Limit is going to look for the move. That's a AlphaTauri spun round. Is that a Bad Bunny? Yes, it is, as No Limit goes on the inside of Charlos, and he's going to get the move done this time around. Ardell wasn't able to do it, so No Limit says, this is how you do it, and he moves himself up into P3. Black's made his way up into P5, by the way. He got ahead of Groggy. Charlos trying to fight back against the McLaren and the Williams, but unfortunately, it's just not able to do anything. Those hard compound tires just really not competitive.
Into 4, out of 4. He almost hit the back of Blacks, but he took evasive action and missed the contact. Oh,
he's making those softs work beautifully. Oh, he's lost a lot of time there. Has the Williams, and now he's gonna be at risk of losing DRS. That's a yellow flag. Is that a Potato? Yes, it is. Does Potato have front wing damage? It doesn't look to be the case, so he's managed to escape from that. Blacks has DRS on Charlos further up ahead, but is just going to have to stay behind. Not close enough, so the Mercedes is going to have to stay behind the Williams for now. You don't hear that in Realistic, but you hear that here in Tier 2.
That's something I'll leave it at that. In Realistic.
Oh, no, you never would, unless the Mercedes is just having a terrible day, which is highly unlikely. And, well, going over to the lead, by the way, the lead has closed in a little bit. Bullet has DRS on Veyron once again, but Bullet's blinking. He's already used a bunch of ERS trying to catch up to Veyron, and Veyron has just been able to stay ahead. Bullet unable to make a move into turn 1. He's just going to have to stay behind.
Move on Carlos. He's going to get it done before D1. Oh, the Senna's going to go a little bit deep into turn 1. He has full battery, by the way.
Senna?
Yeah.
He's just clearly playing it easy, playing it cool, and it seems to be working out. He's currently in P7, trying to catch up to Groggy Charlos in that battle, and he's within the fringes of DRS. Meanwhile, further behind, Charlos closing in a little bit, but then backing off a little bit on Blacks, unable to make a move. Groggy having a little bit of a look on the Williams, but unfortunately just not able to do anything for now. Charlos, though, is going to have the DRS on Blacks at the end of turn 10. Oh, that's Groggy going deep, actually. He's gone really deep at turn 10. And that's going to allow Max Senna to get ahead, and he has. They're going wheel to wheel, actually. Down into turn 11, Groggy has a DRS. So does Max Senna, but Groggy is just able to stay ahead, and he will stay in P6 for the time being. The Max Senna is going to try and pressurize him. Meanwhile, the gap for the lead starting to just fluctuate a little bit. It's now 4 tenths, 6 tenths. Bullet closing a little bit on the straight. So maybe Bullet has a setup worthy of straight line speed, but just losing way too much in the corners. As you saw, he lost 3 tenths there through the final corner, but he has DRS once again, does the Red Bull. This is actually pretty similar to real life if you think about it. Bullet, though, just not close enough to make a move on the Ferrari. Veyron will stay ahead.
Wow,
meanwhile, Max Senna is going to be able to get the move on Groggy, and he's way ahead of the Alpine before they even make it to turn 1.
Way deep into Team 1. He actually makes the corner nicely, but misses the apex.
Oh, thank you, Limit, for taking out the camera. He just completely took out the camera that was looking over at turn 3, but nonetheless. The cameraman's fine, guys. Don't worry. He's okay.
It's okay.
Definitely wasn't a 250-kilometer-an-hour crash, but nonetheless, he's going to
come out of
Max Senna with a purple Sector 1.
Sky with the fastest up on hards.
Obviously, Sky is all the way down in P16, so he's not entirely had the best of times, but yeah, fastest lap of the race for Sky, so showing he definitely has the pace to be up there, but unfortunately he's just not able to do anything. Meanwhile, look at the two leaders. Look how close these two are. Bullet able to stay within that 5/10. He's probably going to need those 5/10 if he wants to close in the Veyron. Just having that cornering speed through turn 13, that's what's helping him right now. He's able to get the exits out of the corners that he needs them the most. Is that Sky round. That is Sky round, and unfortunately, well, he's managed to keep it going, but he's now going to be passed by Skeppy. Meanwhile, battle for the lead once more is Bullet. Is he gonna be able to make a move on the Ferrari? He has the DRS, just stays behind. That ERS, the amount of ERS he has is just not enough, as he doesn't really have any ERS to gain on that Ferrari. And if you look at the back of that Ferrari, he's pretty comfortable by the looks of it on ERS. So it's definitely good to see. Is that Sky round once again? Sky from fastest lap, now down in last.
Yeah, it's just once you spin once and you get those rear tires really hot, it's so easy to spin. You have to take it easy, make sure it doesn't spin again. Also, especially the battle for P3, I want to point out, between a set of mediums and 2 sets of hards. Or also 2 sets of mediums and a set of hard tires.
Yeah, Charlo's just able to stay within No Limit and Black's DRS right now, so Charlo's able to stay and hopefully try and contend. I think this might be near the crossover point where the hards will be faster than the mediums. We'll have to see if that is the case. Bullet using every inch of the track limits as he can to get close to Veyron, but Veyron just has so much cornering speed. It's just, I don't know what he's doing, but clearly it's working. That Ferrari looking very planted right now, and he's just able to stay ahead. The Bullet is pretty close, though. Bullet is pretty close, and he has quite a straight line advantage over Veyron. He has the DRS. Is he going to be close enough to look for a move? Nope, just not enough. Again, that ERS level, that's what's hampering him. Meanwhile, further back, Solar has managed to get ahead of Groggy as Groggy actually goes into the pits. He started on those softs, and now he's going to get off them. It looks to be a set of hard compounded tires for the Alpine.
Definitely going to be able to go to the end.
Might be a little bit risky near the end in terms of tire wear, but yep, he will be able to make it to the end, so it's just a matter of keeping the pace and consistency. Though one thing she's going to have to be aware of is those cold tires the second he leaves the pits. You'll just see right here, right now, as we go on board with the Alpine. Yep, just no turn-in whatsoever. And there it is. That's going to make the difference here in strategy.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Don't look a bit deeper in turn 10. Sorry to change the subject, but this battle is getting spicy. As Blacks is trying to gain as much as he can. He's not going to be able to into turn 11. I'm trying to adjust my headset.
He's just kind of sticking around. He's just kind of sticking around on the back of that McLaren, and, well, I'm not sure what the ERS levels are, though, looking at the steering wheel a little cheekily. Blacks is looking quite comfortable, I would say, on ERS levels, as that Sky retired, that is in the pits. And, well, it's not been a good day for the Alpine? Sorry. The Haas,
yeah,
as he now becomes the second retiree in the session. Meanwhile, battle for P3 about to heat up a little bit. Black's closing in on the back of No Limit. He has that DRS. He has that slipstream. But I don't think he's going to be close enough by the time they reach turn 1. No, he is not. Though he is going to have a second helping here. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. That's a yellow flag. No, I know that's for Sky. Never mind. Let's take the back. Oh, meanwhile, there is a yellow flag for the leaders. There's a yellow flag for the leaders because they're lapping Cold Carnival. Alfa Romeo, it's just completely unraveled for them. And Alfa Romeo, 16th and 17th, last of the runners. It's just been a terrible day for them like I said, just want to hope for a safety car eventually. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a battle further back going on between Ardell and Bad Bunny. Oh, there's a bit of contact. I see they're both off the track. What's going on here?
What are you doing?
Bad Bunny and Ardell. Oh, Ardell gets ahead of Bad Bunny, but I'm not sure what's going on there. Is there wing damage for any one of the drivers? Doesn't look to be the case, but clearly a little bit of nudging and budging. And, well, Ardell is now ahead. Might see a little bit of an incident report later on that. I don't know. That was a bit fishy.
Yeah, that was definitely
You know,
strange,
further back, battle for P12, as Vo is currently closing in on Wingo. Is going to go on the inside into turn 11. Easy move there for the Ferrari. He gets ahead, and Vo now is up into P12. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Is Bullet close enough? No. He's just not, but P3.
No limit. Oh, no limit.
Trying to go around the outside.
Just a little bit late. He's going to try for the switch right.
Oh, I tell you
get
what.
it.
He had a little bit of a look into turn 2. He had the traction to go around the outside. He's going to have the... Actually, no, he doesn't have the DRS this time around, but he's going to be able to look for a move on the McLaren. No. Doesn't do it the old-fashioned way. Just says, I'll just wait for DRSs. But you got a couple people into the pits, that being Bad Bunny and Wingo. And Bad Bunny, this is something we need to see. No front wing damage for the AlphaTauri. So... I'm not sure what's going on there between the Aston Martin and the AlphaTauri, but...
Look how close Bullet is to the back of Veyron through turn 10.
Yeah, he's obviously able to stay close, but again, that DRS disadvantage that he has, and just not having that cornering speed, though Veyron goes a little bit deep there.
Really close there, wow.
Veyron went a little bit deep there at turn 11, but Bullet just unable to do anything with it, as Veyron's just able to keep it on the track so far. And once again, Sector 3, this is what's hurting Bullet. It's just not working out. It is just not working out. The Bullet is closing in quite a bit. Straight line advantage for the Red Bull. He just needs to get a good exit out of here. He needs a good exit, and no, he gets the exact opposite. He lost a ton of time. Wow. So this is clearly not working out.
Well,
Meanwhile, for P3, Black's
at the move.
He is, and he's got the DRS on the McLaren. Pulls to the right-hand side. I don't think there's going to be anything the McLaren can do to defend that, and he doesn't. And that is now Black's up into P3. No limit can potentially down to P5. No limit, just able to cover it off. It goes a little bit deep, but so does Charlos. And that might see the battle end, as No Limit's now going to have DRS on Black's. Charlos is going to have DRS on No Limit. But I think they just might stay stationary for the time being, and indeed they will. But Carlos looking a little bit jumpy here. Obviously, I think the mediums are starting to deteriorate, and Charlos, knowing this on the hard compounded tires, he's thinking, I need to get ahead of these guys if I want any shot of being up on a podium place.
I have no idea what I was just going through the field looking at. Just went through the whole entire field just looking at nothing. Oh, Ardell.
Mood. Oh, Ardell with a 3-second time penalty, and that's definitely going to hurt his race. He's down in P10. He's kind of on his own right now, has on the hard compound of tire. But so far, everyone just kind of evenly spread out right now. Actually, that's Ardell's second time penalty, by the way. He got a 3-second... Oh, wait, no, because he got one at turn 11. He's just trying to rejoin the track, so in reality, it is a 3. Never mind.
I want to put this question out there to you and to the chat. The guys on the hards that haven't pitted yet, like Charlo, Senna, Solar, Ron, Ardell, are they going to stay out long enough to probably go for softs, or are they going to do a medium to hard? That's the question.
It's a good question, actually. Well, if you look at Groggy, who started on those soft compounded tires, he went around
Charles
like 8 or 9 laps. And Charles is going to go on the inside and No Limit. There's a bit of contact, and No Limit has been spun around a little bit. But he's going to stay ahead of the Williams for the time being, though. He's pretty much inside of him right now. They both have DRS going wheel to wheel. Charles just lets them go. I think that was a reasonable thing for Charles to do. Just simply lets the McLaren by, stays behind. And yeah, it was too bold for the Williams. And luckily, they've managed to come off unscathed a little bit, though they lost a lot of time to Blacks now, as now the gap between them is 1.6.
That's the vote into the pits for a set of mediums, excuse me.
That could theoretically go to the end. He's going to have to shred. Actually, no. He's already been on. He started on those mediums.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't
So I don't
understand.
think
You
he
only get one set of mediums.
Yeah, that's going to play a factor in this race, that's for sure, having only one set. And by the way, I just want to mention, look how close Bullet has closed onto the back of Veyron there. He was nearly within a tenth of the Ferrari, but just lost all of it in Sector 2. And, well, going back to what you were asking earlier about mediums or softs, you can do the softs, but I think that just the drop-off will definitely play a factor.
Another poor exit out of turn 14, excuse me.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's just trying to sort out that turn 13 as Ardell gets another 3 seconds. That's now up to 9 seconds, so 6 seconds per, technically. But, yeah, Bullet not able to do anything with it. But going back over to the tires, you can do the softs, but they will deteriorate quite quickly, and the drop-off is just really significant. So I think what some drivers might do is play it a little bit safe, go onto a set of mediums, and they'll last them go to the end. And meanwhile, one person that was on the mediums is now going to switch onto the hards right now. Is currently Potato. He's in the pits. He should come out, I think, in between Groggy and Zach right here. We'll have to see, as Groggy's going down the main straight right now. Same with Zach. It's going to be pretty tight, actually. It's going to be a bit tight right now. Potato's now leaving the pits. Stays ahead, but he does have those cold, hard, compounded tires, and it looks like Groggy might get ahead of his teammate here. Battle for P10. Round the outside goes Groggy, just having that superior traction. And that was a really good move there from Groggy, seizing that opportunity, and he gets ahead. He's now back up into the points paying positions. Potato, just having to warm up his tires, and, well, he's already out of a second.
I know we're under the lights here in Bahrain for the first 2 races here in Jeddah.
Oh, meanwhile, Zach on the inside of Potato. Sorry to cut you off there. Oh, and Zach spins around.
Oh, no.
Lost the rear there at turn 8.
That's so easy to do right there. I did it in realistic a couple times in the Alpine. Granted, I didn't really have any practice with the realistic Alpine, so I'm not blaming it entirely on that. I think it's just operator error on my part. So... But yeah,
it can be half and half. Sometimes the car just lets go, and then maybe sometimes it's just planting the throttle a little bit. Oh, and he's round. Turn 11. And that is going to cost him. He's now going to be behind the Alfa Romeo of Skeppy, in which Skeppy just trying to take those mediums as far as he can.
No one is back within the arrest of blacks.
Yes, he is. You are completely right on that. No. He's closed up as Solar's left the session. Please invite him as soon as possible. But yeah, No Limit closing in on the back of Blacks once again. So No Limit does have the pace. He definitely does have the pace to be within touching distance of that Mercedes. But he's just able to stay ahead right now. His Blacks, and obviously with that collision between Charles and No Limit, definitely helped the Mercedes. So he's just kind of biding his time right now. And right now we're on lap 15 of this race. And so far, Veyron and Bullet have not pitted in this race, both on the mediums. Same with Blacks and No Limit. So the question is when are these drivers going to potentially go into the pits as Bad Bunny's round at turn 2? He's managed to keep it going though, but that is not what the AlphaTauri wanted. What did the drivers do? Are any one of them going to pit? No. None of them are planning on pitting right now, unless maybe Blacks or No Limit goes in. Well, Blacks is definitely going to go in. There we go. Mercedes saying that's enough. So now Blacks is going to go onto a set of the hard compound of tires. So he's going to do less laps on the hards than he did on the mediums, which is very interesting there. But we'll have to see what he could do. And he's now going to fall down to P8. And that is now going to promote Ron Swanson to P7. We haven't mentioned Ron, by the way. He's been having quite a quiet race, needless to say. Currently in P7, so he's grabbing a few points for McLaren. But yeah, Ron having a little bit of a quiet race. Same with Solar after that spin. Oh, he's left the session once again. And that is not what he wanted. And, well, I just hope he comes back soon, as he was having a decent race there. Bullet, very close onto the back of Veyron, by the way. Once again, having that DRS. And he's closing. He is closing. Is it going to be enough to have a lunge into turn 11? No, he's not. He had a little look, but it's not enough. As Vo now sets the fastest lap with the 132.0.
And Corcarnolo is left. What is going on?
Yes. I am not sure, as actually, that is an Alfa Romeo round. That is Skeppy at turn 1. It's gone from bad to worse for Alfa Romeo.
Bad Bunny did the same thing.
He's managed to keep it, though. And, well, actually, wait a minute. There might be a battle sizing up for the lead. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Veyron dives into the pits. He saw the bullet was really close. That might have been a bit of a tactic there.
Bullet and Charlos are in as well.
Bullet was really close onto the back of Veyron. By the time Veyron pitted, the gap between them was around 4/10. So Veyron deciding, I'm not going to fight you. I'm instead going to do the opposite, and I'm going to jump straight into the pits. He's on the hards now. Same with Charlos. And actually, no, well, Charlos is actually on the medium, so he's going to try and pressurize No Limit even more now. And No Limit's going to have a hard time with this. Yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, Black's had a little bit of warm-up, let's not forget. So he's going to try. He is going to get overcut. Remember, the cold tires as No Limit's already gone deep there. No Limit's already gone deep at turn 1, and that's going to be the difference here. Charlos closing in on the back of that McLaren. Both of them trying to warm up the tires. You can see No Limit weaving across the track, trying to get temperature in.
Oh, he goes deep into 4.
Has that temperature.
Charlos, he's going to get the move done.
Superior traction of the mediums, and that has absolutely worked out in Charlos' favor. Here comes Blacks, by the way. He's on the back of No Limit. He's going to dive on the inside into turn 8. Is it going to be a bit of contact? No. Managed to keep it clean. The two drivers in Blacks with the superior grips, the superior tire temperature is going to get ahead of the McLaren and is up into P6 and is now on the back of Charlos. Now, Charlos having those mediums, that's what's crucial because he's able to warm up those tires even quicker, and it looks like he's going to be able to stay ahead, and he is. And Bullet is now into the pits.
You know, I want to make a joke, but I'm not gonna.
Wait, oh, it's softs!
Ooh, that's
softs
risky.
for Bullet. Let's see how that pans out, as that is a Mercedes. Zach clearly not having a good time here in Bahrain, down in P15, but Bullet on the soft compounded tire. It's a very interesting call there. The one thing's for sure, he might come out.
Him and Veyron, though. I know the cold tire feature. Oh, he's already deep into 1.
And it looks like he's going to get overtaken here by Ron Swanson as well, as Ron is looking for a move already on that Red Bull. He's got the DRS, and he's going to clear that Red Bull. Ron is up into 2nd place, and that might hurt Bullet here, you know. Bullet, with that overcut and with the softs, he's going to get hampered here by Ron.
It's tough to say because Bullet can stay within Ron's DRS easily. We know that for a fact.
That is true.
But like you were saying, he's going to be hurting because he's stuck behind Ron. But we also know these cars are very good following in the slipstream of another car for an extended period of time, unlike the other cars that we've had in the previous years. As Voj and Potato are fighting for P12.
Yeah, there is a bit of a battle there. Vo able to stay ahead. I think Vo might have been looking for a move on Wingo there for P11, but it definitely didn't work out. And now he's under pressure from the Alpine as Cole Carnival gets a 3-second time penalty. That's the second driver in this race to get a track limit. Yep, Senna into the pits on the hard compounded tires. I think he might go on to a set of mediums or softs. It looks like a set of softs here.
And a wing change.
Oh, and front wing damage. Where did that come from?
That is a good question. As Voj is going to look for the move on Wingo into T11.
And now that's promoted Ron Swanson into the lead of this race from Bullet. Then it is Veyron. Bullet's pulled a little bit from Veyron here. And now he has the DRS on Ron Swanson. Solar set the fastest lap, by the way, with a 131.6, if I'm not mistaken. Was that what it was? Yes. No, 131.8. Sorry. My apologies. But Bullet still staying behind that McLaren of Ron. Ron just kind of biding his time. Zardell sets a 31.0 now, with the longest team name in existence, by the way. I just want to quickly mention that. Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant Formula 1 team.
You sure it wasn't Racing Point spec?
Nah, this one's longer. I feel like it's like,
a really tank slapper there. Out of T10 is Bullet is just going to get the move done.
Yeah, pretty easy there from the Red Bull.
I think his tires are just dusted right now.
Looking at those hards, yeah, you can see that graining face.
Yeah, you can see the deg.
Oh, yeah, those rears definitely not looking pretty easy. He's already lost a ton of time to Bullet there. And that is definitely going to hurt him now, and I would not be surprised if he goes into bits, unless he decides to be a bit of a menace here and maybe holds up Veyron. But we'll have to see.
Oh, he is.
He is going to be a menace, you know.
What's that laugh? It was like,
I don't know.
That was like such the evilest laugh ever.
Well, he is doing something evil.
I mean,
he's disrupting a little bit of a battle there.
I mean, either he's really praying for a safety car, or he's just gonna be a menace right now. But then again, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we definitely are gonna have to wait and see. Everyone's just kind of spread out now. Not really too many battles. The battle for P4 started to spread a little bit. Gap between all of them is around 1. Is that what? Huh? don't do the A.
No,
why?
Well, Charlo's okay. No,
I'm not sure what's happened to Charles. Oh, he lost a ton of time there, actually.
He had a little bit of rear end no grip out of T7.
Oversteer?
Yeah, that one.
I don't know how you don't know that word, but that's actually going to bring blacks back into the equation. No, Charlos does have DRS.
Oh, no.
From an Alfa Romeo. That's a yellow flag, I believe. That might be for Bad Bunny. And indeed it is. He's gone around at turn 3. And that's to allow Zach to go up to P14. Bad Bunny down to P15. It's not been a good day for AlphaTauri.
Is just gained on Ron.
Yeah, gap between them now 2.4 seconds. I'd not be surprised if Ron pits anytime soon. He doesn't pit this lap, though. I'm not sure what's going on through Ron's head, but he's just staying out for the time being, and he's now under pressure from Veyron behind. Is Veyron going to look for a move? No, he's not. So Veyron just staying behind for the time being. They're basically pushing him through these corners. He is pushing him through these corners. This could be an easy move there for the Ferrari. He's going to pull to the right-hand side of the McLaren. Wheel to wheel down into turn 4. Veyron clears the McLaren, and Veyron is now up into second place. Now he's already 3.3 off a bullet. That overcut has clearly worked.
Ardell's going to look for a move into T1 on ground. Oh, that was close.
Definitely a bit close. That might have hampered Groggy a little bit, as now Ardell's going to have a second bite of the cherry. As in DRS, we move. And Ardell is looking for the move. A little bit of weaving action there from the Aston Martin. Gets the move done on the medium compounded tire. And Ardell is now up into 9th. Groggy down to 10th. That's a yellow flag, and that's Wingo.
Yeah, he's at turn 3. Whenever someone spins there, I always get, like, that crash that happened in 2020 in my head.
Oh, I was thinking 2021 with Nikita Mazepin.
Oh.
But, yeah. I don't think of the other one because that one involved 2 cars, and, well, I'd honestly prefer not to. Bad Bunny retiring in the pits, by the way.
We all know the extent of that accident, you know.
We don't need to know more. Ron dives into the pit. Yep. Great English. Ron dives into the pits now. So he's now finally going to get off those hard compounded tire, and now goes onto a set of fresh softs there for the McLaren, and he's going to come out easily ahead of Ardell here. So he is going to grab at least P8, unless something happens up front.
I'm just surprised there hasn't been a safety car yet.
Well, you kind of jinxed it.
Well, hey, you know,
it can happen on the dying stages now.
Right, but what do you do?
Oh, hey. That was a nice voice crack. Oh, softs.
Right.
What else would you do?
You gotta, okay, so it's lap 22 or 29. If I do my math right, there's 6 laps left. No. 7. Yep. Safety car only comes out.
Actually, no, 8.
Is that Groggy? Is Skeppy around?
That's an Alfa Romeo. Yep, that is Skeppy. Alfa Romeo just having a torrid time here tonight. It's just pretty easy to see 15th and 16th place. They still keep on going. So fair play to them for commitment, but yeah, it's just not going well for them. Skeppy down 2 positions. Carnival surprisingly up 1. So that's definitely something, that's for sure. And I want to say real quick, give a hand over to Blacks, by the way. having the race pace in this race to not only be in P4, but he's gone up 11 positions in this race.
Yeah, I mean,
P15 up to P4. Oh, and that's Cold Carnival in the pits.
We both
Actually, wait a minute!
excited
Whoa!
for-
Wait! Whoa! 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 He's crashed into the pit lane wall, and that's a safety car. Oh! Oh!
Okay.
Oh,
Ardell
Oh,
in
no.
for softs. Groggy in for, I'm assuming,
Oh
would be
dear.
softs. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have said
I'm not sure how that's gonna go down. And remember I said you jinxed it. That's not what I expected out of that, but
Yeah, right.
yee. That's a bit touch and go.
I think some words will be shared with the Alfa Romeo driver from our FIA directors.
Potentially.
Groggy on
Potentially. A bunch of
Groggy?
Groggy on a set of mediums, yeah. Groggy on
I'm
a set of
wondering if he
mediums there,
used
so
all
that's
this sauce.
that. Or he's thinking of the drop off of the sauce. I'm not entirely sure, but
Well, so you got the
it's a
laps
bit of
under
an
safety
interesting
car.
strategy
You
there
really-
from them.
You don't get that much wear under safety car.
You
you're
don't know
doing-
the softs.
Right, but you're doing
You do not know the
approximately
sauce.
3 laps? I believe.
Maybe something along that line. Bullet dives into the pits, by the way. The Bullet into
Aaron
the pits.
diving into the pits. Carlos.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to dive into the pits here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blacks is in, Charlos is in, No Limit
Ron-
in,
okay,
Solar
this
in.
actually helps Ron Swanson a little bit.
Kind of. It kind of does, in a way. He would have wished that that safety car came out a lap sooner. By the way, Mex Senna staying out. And Ron, unsurprisingly, staying out of this race. Actually, wait a minute, Ron, he might come out in between Charlos and Veyron, and he is going to come out between the two. So this has helped Ron, as you said. He's now up at the 4th.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know, grab the popcorn. Grab the popcorn. This is not what I meant by.
Yeah, grab the popcorn, indeed.
This is not what I meant by getting a safety car. I was being totally.
But we still got one nonetheless.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse kicking in, and you've done exactly that. So, nice job, but it's just not in the way we all expected.
Yeah. I mean, is anything we expect to be expected?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong on that one bit. I don't expect a lot of things, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Right. I mean.
It's like Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like I was not expecting that, but I was expecting to not expect something, so that it doesn't count. That's me.
Listening to like a banger song right now.
Have you been listening to music this entire time?
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't blame you. I would listen to some music, but you know, I also want to hear the engines as well, as the engines are quite nice in this game. You have to admit. So, into this safety car now. Mex Senna now leads the race on 5-lap-old softs. So you've already got quite a bit of wear here. Bullet on a fresh set of softs. Same with Veyron. Ron on decently worn softs, but nothing crazy. So he's still very much within the mix. Charlos, Blacks, No Limit, Solar, all on fresh softs. Ardell on 1-lap-old softs, same with everyone below him, except for Groggy. Groggy, interestingly, on the medium compounded tire, which is going to be a bit of an outlier here. We'll see if that potentially pays off. I'm not sure if he had a fresh set of softs or not, or if he could even select them, but nonetheless, he can still definitely grab some points if anything happens in front. And well, anyone can really grab points out of this. Don't count anybody out for a podium either.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those curveball races. I don't think Skeppy, Ruggy, or no, what are you doing?
Don't worry about what Ardell does, okay?
I mean, I don't think Skeppy's going to catch the field.
It's gonna be tight.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Ball guy saying in the chat, by the way, Veyron for the win. So he's thinking that the reigning Tier 2 champion and the man who took pole is gonna go for the win. There is a bug on my TV.
Kill it. Kill the Slayer.
Get out of here! Goddamn.
While we're under safety car, venturing through Facebook. Lance Stroll versus Sebastian Vettel before the summer break.
Vettel clear. I was not gonna say Stroll clear. No.
Vettel clear over Stroll in race 6-5, in quali 8-3, points 16-4, best race finish Vettel 6th, Stroll 10th, highest grid position Seb 9, Stroll 10, DNS Seb 2, Stroll 1.
How does Stroll has less DNFs? That actually kind of surprised me. That's actually kind of surprising me, if I'm being honest. Nope, it's gonna go out another lap. So we're gonna have 3 laps of racing here. So we are gonna have 1 lap of DRS, just 1 lap, a 3-lap sprint. It looked like Max Senna was about to go into the pits.
We won't have DRS because we're starting lap 27.
We're on lap 26. What do you mean?
Yeah, but when we restart, we're gonna restart on lap 27.
Yeah, 27, 28, 29.
You know, I'm
29 being the DRS.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, okay.
My brain hurts. Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull as Zach can say I forgot how to commentate.
Sure. Let's put it that way. I mean, to be fair, it's been 2 months. I can't exactly blame you. So I mean, like, yeah, I'd taken a little bit in Tier 3, which was yesterday. Be sure to check that out. The link is on Breakout Racing League's Twitch. But obviously, at least stay here for Tier 2. We want to watch the rest of this, as this is going to be an entertaining end to this race, that's for sure. But
yeah,
once we're done watching this, go and check out Tier 3. That was quite a race in and of itself. Strategies definitely played a part. And we had a winner. Yeah, there were quite a few issues. But quite an entertaining end to that race. And, well, it's going to repeat here in Tier 2. It's just a matter of who's going to come out on top. Is it going to be Senna? Is it going to be Bullet? Is it going to be Veyron? Maybe even Ron? Maybe even Charles, for all we know. Really, anybody can win this race if they have the pace and can just pick up the pieces.
Someone would probably shoot me if I said Ardell for the win.
Oh, yeah. I know somebody who would. I'm not going to name who, but somebody definitely would do that. Safety car in this lap. So here we go. 3 laps of racing, and it's down to the Aston Martin of Max Senna to lead us across the line to resume the race. But it's his decision as to when the race will go. You cannot overtake until you cross the start-finish straight. Everybody knows this, and everybody trying to warm up their tires, try and get the maximum amount of temperature as they can to get the grip that they need to launch it off the line, and that's exactly what Senna has done. He has gone. And has he pulled a bit of a gap from Bullet? Not quite, but he's going to come across the line. So the race has now resumed. Green flag is now out, and Bullet is closing in onto the back of Senna, going into turn 1, but he doesn't exactly look for the move. Meanwhile, there's a bit of movement for the back, and Solar's looking for a move on No Limit, unable to get it done, and Ardell actually seizes the moment. He gets ahead, and now Ardell is up into P8, Solar down to P9. No, Solar's going to try and challenge back on the Aston Martin, but is unable to do anything out of it. Meanwhile, further back, Wingo and Zach going at it. Zach just having to stay behind of the Williams for the time being. So far, everyone just kind of keeping it calmer now as Vo manages to get ahead of Groggy. Groggy obviously on those mediums, Vo on the softs, and the Ferrari gets ahead of the Alpine, is now up into the points-paying positions. And Max Senna, you know what, actually, Max Senna has quite a decent pace on those worn softs. He's pulling a bit of a gap, though Bullet closed in a little bit there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, everyone's spread out of a second of one another, so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what we keep our battles on here. Ardell is close to the back and No Limit. He's looking, he's just losing time now. Back up to the fight for the lead. And Bullet's just losing time through the corners, but he's getting it back on the straights.
It's Sector 3 where he's losing the most right now in relation to pretty much everybody around him, as Veyron closed around 3/10 in comparison to Bullet, which is exactly what Veyron was doing before. But obviously, it's going to hamper him a little bit as now.
He's gonna get the move
Meanwhile,
done.
for the lead, Bullet is starting to close in a little bit on Senna on lap 28 of this race. Purple sector 3, actually, for Bullet, so scratch that.
Oh, he's gonna
Bullet
go
still
deep
has
into
plenty of
one.
pace, so he goes a bit deep there. He goes a bit deep as there's a bit of movement going on as Carlos gets ahead of Ron and is now up into P4. Actually, wait a minute. Veyron managed to get ahead of Bullet. They're going wheel to wheel into turn 4. A battle for P2 heating up. Veyron obviously has that cornering speed. He's trying to go around the outside of the Red Bull. Is going to be able to get the traction. I think he has. And yes, he has indeed. Veyron gets ahead of Bullet. He's up into second place. He's not going to try and chase after Max Center for the lead of this race. Meanwhile, further down behind, I believe No Limit, and Black's going to get it. No Limit on the inside into turn 8. Blacks goes off the track, and now No Limit is up into 6th place. Black's down to 7th. He could be under pressure from the Aston Martin later on. We'll have to find out. Veyron starting to close down Max Center here. The Bullet is on the back right now. Meanwhile, Ardell still very much on the back of that Mercedes. He's already used up pretty much all of his ERS as Ardell. He's already blinking, and we're not even done lap 2.
I think it's too far down.
Oh, and that's Black's round and Ardell. They both spun round, and they're now down to P14 and P15. Wingo gets a 3-second time penalty, but out of all that promotes Groggy back up into the point. Same as Solar, and same as Act the Beast as Senna's round! Senna! Oh no! Senna rounded the final corner. He has lost the lead. He's going to be out of the points here, you know, and he is. But now Veyron, out of absolutely nowhere, has taken back the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix on the last lap as there's a bit of battling further back as that is Zach the Beast going on Groggy. Groggy able to keep around the outside, and he has cussed the track a little bit, though he's going to have a little bit of pressure once again from the Mercedes as Zach has DRS. Same with Groggy. Is Zach going to potentially look for a move on the final lap of this race? No, he does not. He stays behind for now. Meanwhile, the two McLarens are looking pretty close. Same with Skeppy and Potato as they're actually going wheel to wheel as they're on the back of Wingo right now. Skeppy forcing his way past, and there's contact between the two. They're off the track. Skeppy and Potato colliding, and that's double they wanted. Meanwhile, for PA and P9, Zach and Groggy once again going at it. Zach trying to go around the outside at turn 9 and turn 10. Groggy having that inside, but Zach having those soft cover tires. He goes off the track in doing so, and he might have to get that place back, and indeed he is. Actually, no, he hasn't, not quite, but now he lets him go. Groggy manages to stay in P8, Zach into P9. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my breath right now as we're coming on to the final couple corners of this Grand Prix. And Veyron, the pole man, the reigning champion, the defending champion, took pole, was pretty much dominant in the first half, able to hold off Bullet, and this safety car has definitely helped him. Bit of luck was needed, but he had the pace to do so. Veyron wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bullet will grab second place in this race, and Carlos will round off the podium places. Ron finishes in P4 and No Limit in P5, so great day there for McLaren. Vo in P6, Solar in P7, but Veyron, wow, he has managed to win the season opener once again. And, well, that's pretty much exactly what I need to do. Groggy gets driver of the day, and I can't disagree with that as he went from P18 to P8.
I'm going to go ahead and ping the podium guys, see if they want an interview. They're not 100% sure.
It was quite an enthralling race at the end of that. But Veyron, the defending champion, takes P1 here in Bahrain tonight. Just a little bit of a dance as well. That was that was quite entertaining. But he takes the win for Scuderia Ferrari. Bullet will grab second place. Ferrari first, Red Bull second, Williams in third as Carlos is going to take third place in this race. It was a very, very entertaining Grand Prix. And, well, who knows what's going to happen next. Here you have it. Here are the race results. Veyron will take the win ahead of Bullet. And, by the way, I just want to quickly mention their fastest lap separated by less than 200ths. I mean, no, exactly 200ths. So, already those two closely contested. Carlos, P3.
McLaren 4th and 5th with Ron managing to take P4, No Limit, and P5. It's also a good day for Ferrari as well, as Vo manages to take P6. He had a bit of a comeback at the end, and, well, he's made it work. Solar will grab P7. Zach will grab P8. Groggy P9, and it's Max Senna rounding out the top 10. Blacks, unfortunately, just missing out. Same with Wingo. Wingo had that 3-second time penalty, let's not forget. Skeppy will grab P13. Potato P14. Ardell with the fastest lap. He will not grab that point, however, so he'll get P15. And we lost Cole Carnival, Bad Bunny, UF1 Sky, and Maverick from this race. I'm assuming you invited the drivers for podium interviews.
Yeah, I sent them. I pinged him in chat, so I'm waiting to see if Veyron's here.
Well, he's joined, so here we go. We're just waiting on Bullet and Charlos to join us here in the booth. So far, nothing that they're saying. Nothing right now. I could be completely wrong, though. Maybe they joined behind me, but I guess not. I don't think they're gonna join, actually. I don't know. Here, let me ping them as well. Hello.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. I mean, you said it. You said it, not me.
Redeemer made me spin SMH. What did I do?
Oh, there we go. There's our P3 members just waiting on Bullet to join us. But I think we can start it out right now while we're waiting. And Redeemer, why don't you take us with Charlos for P3 in this race?
Yeah, just want to make sure you guys have your audio included for the interviews. Carlos, I believe it's your first race here in BRL, obviously being in Tier 2. Great race, and walk us through your thoughts and qualifying.
I think if you're sad about it, there might be an issue. But nonetheless, you still managed to grab a podium out of all that, so I mean, fair enough. Yeah, it's true. There's always a charge to go better, but still, nonetheless, your first race being on the podium, so that's definitely something you could be happy about, though. Next week, we go over to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Do you think that you're able to do the same in Jeddah, or do you think that might be a struggle for you? That is definitely good to hear. Redeemer, do you have any questions for Charlos?
No, you took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, then. I'll keep doing that, then. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so with that, I don't think Bullet is going to be able to join us, but now we shall move on to the race winner, and that being Veyron. So, Veyron, last season, you were able to take the title at the final race, and going into this race, having pretty high hopes that you could be at the front, well, you've pretty much done exactly that. You managed to take pole position, and you're pretty much leading for over half of that race. Unfortunately, the overcut from Bullet, you weren't able to contend with it. Then that safety car happened. You were able to get ahead of Bullet, and, well, out of all that, with Mexena obviously having his issue, but nonetheless, out of all that, you managed to come home and go from a pole to a win here in Bahrain tonight. How do you feel about that?
It feels really good to win the opening race again. The race was pretty straightforward. The first half of the race, I was just trying to defend from Bullet. He had good pace, but the advantage I had over him, even though I had low ERS, is that he also had low ERS, and he wasn't getting the best exits out of the slow corners onto the DRS straight. So I was able to keep him behind for the opening stint, and I was trying to stay out as long as possible, hoping that he would pit before me, so I would go for the overcut. But my tires are pretty worn by the end of or going into lap 16, so I wanted to throw on the hards, and yeah, it was a pretty slow outlap, and he definitely got the overcut on me. But I definitely was not expecting him to put the soft tires on. I thought it was a little early for that, and even though he was pulling away from me at the beginning, I was still pretty confident that I could still win, just with tire life being on the hards and his dying on the softs. But I was pretty upset with the safety car, because that turned it from a straightforward win possibly to one that may only I might not even get a podium. But I was able to pass Bullet after the safety car restart when I think he made a mistake or something, and then unfortunately for Senna, I feel really bad for him for spinning at the end there. He did everything right with strategy that race. But yeah, the competition was strong this race. This one was definitely much more difficult than the one last year, and I think it's going to be a pretty good battle throughout the season. I'm very happy with the performance.
Well, going on with what you said about competition, I just want to quickly say that 17 drivers of the 19 we had were all separated by less than a second in qualifying. I don't know if you noticed that, but
I did not.
It was definitely very close. Obviously, you had a 2/10 advantage over second place,
Yeah.
but still, nonetheless, it's a very closely contested grid.
I was just thrilled to get pole finally in this league. I was absolutely horrible in qualifying last season.
Well, luckily, you've managed to do exactly that, and, well, you definitely still have that race pace that you had last season. And, well, you're able to take it once, and you're able to take the win once again, the season opener. Next week, though, we go over to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Do you think you could potentially go back-to-back there next week?
I don't know. Bahrain is definitely one of my favorite tracks. Saudi is definitely a fun one too, but I definitely think it gears more to people that are on wheel. I'm not bad there, but I may not be have as much pace as I did here. I'm just hoping for a solid finish there. Maybe not the win, but just a good points finish.
We'll just have to see in just a week's time. Redeemer, do you have any questions for Veyron?
Yeah, I do. Your setup, we were talking about it on stream. Was it more corner setup, or was it more straight line speed? Because during the Sector 3, especially turns 13, 14, and 15, that's where you really pulled on Bullet, and he couldn't gain the time back.
Yes. I was running 23 wings. The car was very stable. That's the way I wanted it. Whenever I run inverted wings, I have a hard time pushing the car, and I don't feel confident, and the back end steps out whenever I run inverted wings. So I wanted to run a balanced wing setup that was helpful in the corners. Yeah, that was really the difference in the opening half of the race. Those few corners that you just mentioned, with me being able to stay ahead of Bullet.
Yeah, well, it definitely worked out in the end, needless to say, and I'm assuming that's one of the only questions that you had, Redeemer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is? Alright, well, with that, once again, congratulations to you on your win, and congratulations to Bullet and Charlos grabbing P2 and P3, respectively. And with that, that is going to wrap up Tier 2 tonight, but be sure to tune in next week, starting Thursday, for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, starting with Realistic on Thursday. Then it's Tier 3 on Friday. Then next week, once again, we will have Tier 2, but be sure to tune into Tier 1 right before that. But nonetheless, be sure to stay tuned next week when we go to Saudi Arabia
it's going to be a very, very interesting Grand Prix, needless to say. But from Redeemer and I, that is going to be everything. Good day, good night. See you next week for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.